Hi, I'm Ms. Knox from Crossover Yoga Project, and I'm sorry I can't be there with you today, but we thought we'd send in some videos so that you could continue to practice some yoga. So I welcome you and hope you enjoy the class. So I'm going to start sitting. You could start sitting in any way that's comfortable for you. You don't have to be sitting. You could be lying down, whatever is feeling good for you right now. When I begin my yoga practice, I usually start with some deep breaths, just to let my body know that I'm shifting now to do something maybe a little bit quieter. So as I breathe in, I fill my chest up, breathing in through my nose, and then with my exhale, I might make a little sound like a and let the exhale be a little longer than the inhale. So you could try that a couple times. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then out your mouth. And maybe once or twice more. So breathing in and exhale. And it could be any sound that you like. I'm going to try it one more time, breathing in. Maybe I'll make a different sound. So maybe try it one more time and see if there's a sound that feels good for you. It could be kind of a hum. So breathe in, and maybe it's a hum. Great. All right, and then when you've done that, you could pause a moment and notice if you sense any kind of change, any kind of shift, just from taking those few breaths with a little bit longer breath out and a little slower. Notice that. All right, so then let's start to move a little bit. So this time as you breathe in, you could shrug your shoulders way up towards your ears, really high up. And then as you breathe out, let them relax down again. Sometimes we hold a lot of tension in our shoulders, so it might feel nice to breathe in and shrug them up. And then as you breathe out, you can make that sound if you like as you let them go. Breathe in and shrug them up. And breathe out and let them go. Nice. And then maybe wiggle a little, maybe roll your shoulders, let some tension out. You could even shake your hands if there's some tension in your hands. That might feel good. Ooh, that feels good. Okay. All right. And then next time you breathe in, raise your arms all the way up, and maybe bring your hands together above your head. And then as you breathe out, just bring them back down again. And try that a couple times. So reaching way up. Maybe your hands touch and breathe out and bring them back down again. And one more time. Breathe in, reach up. And breathe out. Bring them down. Good. So now let's add in a little twist. So when you breathe in, you bring your arms up, and then this time you can take your left hand over to your right knee and twist a little to your right. So just kind of looking over your right shoulder. And then breathe in and come back to the center again. And with your breath out, go the other way. So you're reaching one arm across to the opposite knee and looking over that shoulder. And it's just nice and easy, breathing in, take your arms up, and then go to the first side again. And we'll go back and forth a couple times. And it can be real easy, breathing in, exhale, go to the other side. And don't force it. Just feeling a little movement in your spine. See how it feels for you. And this time, let's stay and take a couple breaths. And see how if you deepen your breath, does that help you feel the twist a little bit more? Where do you feel the twist in your body? And if there's something that doesn't feel so great for you, change something. Maybe you want to ease out of it a little bit. Maybe you'd like to turn your head a little more. It might feel nice for your neck. And then when you're ready to breathe in again, come back to the center. And we'll do that on the other side. So reaching across to the opposite knee, bring the other hand to the floor somewhere near you. And gazing over your shoulder. And take a couple of breaths. You can even turn your head back and forth here. So whatever feels comfortable in your body. There's no right way to do it. And then breathing in and come back. And then when you're ready to breathe out, bring your arms back down. And just take a moment and notice how that felt. Now take your arms a little farther, your hands a little farther away from you. And bring your right hand palm down on the floor, and you can reach the other arm up. And just a nice opening along the side of your body. So you can play with this a little bit. Maybe feel your breath a little into your ribs on that side. Just make it easy, comfortable for you. You can be turning your head up and down here. And then whenever you're ready to breathe in, come up out of it. Bring that arm down. And then slide your left hand out a little bit out to the side and bring your right arm up. And again, deep breaths and find where it feels right for you. So maybe sort of wiggling a little bit or swaying a little bit, breathing into the rib cage, whatever feels good. And if it doesn't feel good at all, then come out of it and just pause. So now everybody come on out, bring your arm down, and again, just check in. How did that feel in your body? And then, if you like, unwind your legs, extend them out in front of you, and point and flex your feet and ankles, just to get your feet moving a little bit, and then circle them one way and the other way. Good. And then swing your legs around, come to your knees and take your knees out wide and bring your big toes together, and then fold yourself over. And you might want your hands under your head. You can have your fists stacked up like that, or maybe hands one on top of the other. And your hips moving towards your heels. You might not get all the way back, so if you're kind of up in the air, that's fine too. But find a way that it feels okay to be here. And take a couple of breaths. So then from wherever you are, make your way back up. Bring your knees back together. And come on to your hands and knees. Wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. So your knees are a bit apart, because we're going to go into a little bit of a balance. It's easier if your legs are a little bit wider apart, not right next to each other. So look a little bit out in front of you. And start by sliding your left leg out behind you. So you're right on the ball of that foot. And then pick up the leg so it's about parallel with the floor. And then the opposite arm reaches out in front. So your right arm reaches out in front. And then as you breathe out, you come back down. Back to your hands and knees. And then we could try that on the other side. So sliding your right leg long, so you're on the ball of the foot, and then lift the leg up. And you don't want to open up your hip because that'll throw off your balance. So keep it level if you can. And then the opposite arm reaches out in front. And then come back down. So now you can try doing the arm and leg at the same time if you like. So as you breathe in, reach your right arm out in front as you're extending your left leg back behind you. And then come back down again. And then breathe in and take your left arm out in front as you take your right leg out behind you. And breathe out, come back down. One more each side like that. Breathe in and reach your right arm forward, your left leg back. And breathe out and come back down. And try it the other way. Opposite arm and leg, left arm, right leg. And come back down. And then this time you could stay for a couple of breaths. So breathe in and take your right arm forward, your left leg back, and stay there in balance. And maybe you can feel this sort of diagonal across your body from your back hand through your back foot to the front hand. And breathe. And then when you're ready to breathe out, come back down. And try it on the other side. So take your left arm out in front of you, your right leg out behind you, and breathe here. And there's probably a little movement happening. And then as you breathe out, come back down. Good. Pause there. And then take your knees out wide again, just like you did earlier. And fold yourself over. Find a way to be comfortable. Maybe something under your head, your hands. Maybe your hips are up in the air a bit. You could be resting like that. And then bring yourself back up. Bring your knees back under you. And then make your way up to standing. So stand yourself up. And come to stand with your feet a little bit apart, so it feels pretty easy to be standing, nice and balanced. And bring your head over your spine, so you're standing up kind of tall, like you're growing roots down into the earth. At the same time, you're lengthening up through the crown of your head. Nice. And then we're going to do a little balance, but it's balancing on two legs to start. So you might want to find something out in front of you, like a little point out in front of you that you can look at to keep your eyes steady. And breathe out where you are. And then when you breathe in, you lift your heels just a little and reach your arms out to the sides and up. And then when you breathe out, lower your arms and lower your heels. And I'll turn to the side so you can see it that way. As you breathe in, lift your heels just a little so you're on the balls of your feet, not way up on your tiptoes. And then breathe out and come down. Good, try that one more time. Breathe in, raise your arms. And you kind of push down into your feet to help you go up, and then breathe out. Slowly lower your arms and lower your heels. And then we could try balancing for a couple breaths. So breathe in and come up, and then stay there. And you might find what happens with me is I kind of roll off my big toes. So maybe find your big toes a little more. That might help you balance. There's going to be a little wiggle and movement. That's just what happens. And then as you breathe out, come on down. Excellent. Then we'll come to balance on one leg at a time. So you could bring your hands to your hips. Shift your weight so you're standing a little more in your left leg. So a little bit in your left foot. And then pick up your right heel. And then you just turn your knee out to the side so you can do a little kickstand with your heel on your standing ankle. And your body's still facing forward. And you can test your balance here by picking the toes up off the floor. And if you're feeling like you'd like to try a little more, then you bring your foot on your inner calf. You can bring your hands in front of your chest. All of this is optional. Do what's right for you. Take your arms up if you like. And balance here. And there's going to be some movement, some sway. It's the tree pose. Trees sway a little bit. And then you can bring your arms down. Turn your knee forward and step out of that. Good. Maybe walk your feet a little. Come back to where you're standing in both legs. And now shift so you're standing a little bit more in your right leg. You can have your hands on your hips if that helps you. And pick up your left heel. And then again, it's just your knee turning. So you do a little kickstand. And maybe you want to just stay there. Maybe you want to bring the toes off the floor to test your balance. Maybe your foot on your inner calf. I'm going to stay in the kickstand. So you choose. Bring your hands in front of you if you like. And then the arms go up if you like. And breathe. Notice if your shoulders are pulling up towards your ears. Maybe they could soften a little. One more breath, and then when you're ready to breathe out, bring your arms down and step out of that and take another little walk. Great. All right, so move up to the front of your mat. So now you're facing the short edge of the mat, and we'll try a couple of sun salutes. So as you breathe in, sweep your arms out to the sides and up. And with your exhale, open your arms wide, and you're going to fold over. You can bring your hands to your shins, maybe slide them down towards your ankles if that feels good. And then as you breathe in, slide your hands back up to your knees and look a little forward. Come about halfway up. And then slide your hands down again. Bend your knees more if you like. Let your head relax over. And then as you breathe in, open your arms and come all the way back up. And then lower your arms as you breathe out. So let's try that again. Sweep your arms out to the sides and up. Open your arms wide. Fold all the way over. Let your knees bend so that there doesn't feel any strain as you do this. Inhale. Slide your hands to your knees. Look a little forward. Breathe out and fold again. And then coming up. Open your arms out to the sides. And come up, reach way up, and then breathe out, bring your arms down. Excellent. Take a breath, pause a moment, and then I'm going to add on to that a little bit so you can join in if it's feeling right. As you breathe in, you take your arms up, so it starts the same way. Exhale, go all the way over. Then hands up to the knees, look a little forward, come up halfway. Now this time bend your knees enough so you can bring your hands down to the mat. And then pick up your right foot and step it way back behind you and put your knee down. And as you breathe in now, you're going to sweep your arms up and reach up. And you can stay here for a breath. Maybe your hips move a little forward. Make it feel okay in your body. And then as you breathe out, bring your hands back by your front foot, and then step your front foot to your back foot, so you're on your hands and knees. And then bend your elbows and slowly lower yourself down onto your belly. Breathe in and lift your upper body, look a little bit forward, so your belly stays on the ground. And as you breathe out, come back down, forehead to the ground. And then push up to your hands and knees again. And now you stepped your right foot back first, so now we're going to step that foot up in between the hands. Your back knee is on the ground, and as you breathe in, reach your arms up. And you can stay here for a breath and play with it a little, see how it feels good for you. And then breathe out, bring your hands down. And now you're going to curl the toes of your back foot so you can push off a little and step your back foot up to your front foot. And then come up about halfway, like we were doing before, and breathe out, fold all the way over. And then come all the way up. Open your arms. Reach up as you come up. And as you breathe out, lower your arms. Excellent. So take a breath, and if all that was feeling okay, we'll try it starting with stepping back with the left foot. So as you breathe in, reach your arms up. With your exhale, go all the way over. Knees can be bent. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees, look a little forward. And now as you fold over, really bend your knees so you can put your hands down. Step your left foot way back behind you, put your knee down, and then reach your arms up. And take a breath here. And again, find a way to make it feel okay in your body. Maybe you ease off a little bit, maybe you want to go a little deeper. And then as you breathe out, put your hands down, step your front foot to your back foot. So some of you may want to come into more of a plank position. And then as you exhale, you can lower yourself down from here, so kind of a reverse push-up. But put your knees down if you like. And then inhale, just your chest lifting up so you're in this little back bend. And breathe out and bring your head back down. Now push back up to your hands and knees. And this time we're going to step your left foot up. You can even kind of grab onto the leg to help it get up there. And breathe in and reach your arms up. And stay here for a breath. Maybe this is a nice kind of stretchy feel, reaching up. And then as you breathe out, fold over, curl the toes on your back foot, step forward so you're in your forward bend. And then come halfway up, look forward, fold over again. Let's stay here this time. So if this feels okay, let your knees bend a whole lot and let your head hang. And you can cross your arms and hold your elbows. And then really just kind of circle your head if you like it's just dangling there. You can sway. And then relax your arms down. And then come up halfway one more time. Bring your hands up to your knees, come up halfway. Breathe out. And then when you're ready to breathe in again, finish coming up. Open your arms up, reach up, and with your breath out, lower your arms. Okay. All right, so now come back to the center of your mat facing the wide edge. Take your feet out nice and wide apart. And then you're going to pick up the toes of your right foot and roll your whole leg so the toes turn toward that short edge of your mat. Make sure your knee is pointing at your foot. And then your back heel is out a little bit. Good, so we're going to move into, this is Warrior 2. So breathe in, sweep your arms up. And as you breathe out, bend your knee and bring your arms out shoulder height and look out over your front hand. Breathe in and straighten your leg and take your arms up. Breathe out, move into it again. Breathe in, straighten your knee and take your arms up. And then go into it and let's stay this time if that's feeling okay. Check that you haven't bent your knee so much that it's way out over your toes. That might not feel so great on the knee joint. So find where it feels like you feel nice and supported here. And it's not so hard to be here. So the point is not for it to be difficult. So make it work for you. And then when you're ready to breathe in, press your legs straight, arms up, and lower your arms. Good. Switch your legs around to the other side. So now you've got your left leg turning out to the side, and your heel is out a little bit on your back foot. Shoulders in the center. Inhale and take your arms up. And with your breath out, now you're bending your left knee. arms come out to shoulder height, look out over your left hand. Breathe in and press your legs straight, take your arms up. And breathe out, move into it again. And once more, breathe in. And breathe out. And now stay here. So looking right over the front hand. See if you can feel your feet grounding. Maybe you notice your shoulders are a little tight. You could let them go. And then as you breathe in, straighten your leg, take your arms up, and lower your arms. Good, turn your feet forward and step them back together. Take a moment, notice how that felt. How did you feel that in your body? And what does your energy feel like after doing that? And then step out again, maybe not quite so big, so a little wider than your shoulders. And you're going to turn your right foot out again. And your left foot in a little bit. So now this one is the triangle. So as you breathe in, your arms just come out to your sides. And then with your exhale, you're going to kind of windmill over. And your hand can come to the outside of your knee. You can look up at the hand in the air. And this knee might even bend a little bit. And then breathe in and come back up. And do that again, breathing out. Go over into it so you're leaning sideways and come up. And one more time, breathe out, and then we could stay here. Now as you breathe in, you can take your top arm and reach it all the way up by your ear. And then as you breathe out, sweep it alongside you and look down to your front foot. And do that again, a couple times if you like. So a nice sweep of the arm up. You could be looking up, and then as you breathe out, sweep it down and look down. So just nice and easy. Might feel nice on the neck and the shoulder. Maybe your front leg is getting a little straighter, maybe not. And then inhale and bring yourself up. And lower your arms. Good, switch your legs around the other way. Let's do the same thing. So now you've got your left leg turned out. Heel is out a little bit on your back leg. And when you're ready to breathe in, raise your arms just out to your sides. And then as you breathe out, you're hinging at your hips to come sideways. Look up at your hand in the air if that feels okay. And then come back up as you breathe in. And breathe out, go over into it. Your knee might bend a little bit. Breathe in. And once more, breathe out. And then as you breathe in, take that top arm, reach it all the way up. You could feel a little opening in your ribs there. And then as you breathe out, bring your arm back and look down. Breathe in, bring your arm up and look up. Breathe out, bring your arm down by your side, look down. One more time. If this is feeling good. And then when you're ready to breathe in, stand up, arms out, and lower your arms. Excellent. Turn your feet forward and bring them back together. And pause a moment. How did that feel? What's your energy feeling like now? Where did you feel that in your body? Great. So now come on down to your knees again. So that same position we were in a couple of times already. Come down onto your mat, take your knees out wide, bring your big toes together and fold yourself over. And again, something under your head might feel good, your hips might be up, whatever feels good for you. Maybe you prefer to have your knees closer together, you can play with it, see what feels right. And then bring yourself back up and come all the way out onto your belly. Have the tops of your feet on the floor so your toes are out long. Come to your forehead, bring your hands in by your ribs, So we did this earlier during the sun salutation, but we're going to do it a little bit more again. So as you breathe in, you're lifting your chest and your head. And then breathe out and come down. And do that a couple times. So as you breathe in, just your chest and head, and maybe not sticking your chin way out. That creates a lot of tension, so keep your back of your neck relaxed and come down. And one more time, up and down. Breathe out. Good, now pause here. And now make your feet about as wide as your mat. So your legs are out nice and wide. And then come up again, same way we were doing. Stay here. And now you can choose if you want to begin to straighten your arms a little bit more. So that'll take you up a little more into the back bend. And your hips will probably come off the ground. Draw your shoulder blades down. If this doesn't feel good, don't do it. Bring your hips back down. Maybe you just come up a little bit more, the elbows still a little bit bent. From wherever you are, take another breath, and then come all the way down. And turn your head to the side and bring your arms down by your sides. And take a breath there. And maybe you kind of wiggle a little bit. See how that feels. And then turn your head to the other side. Take another breath. Good. And then roll yourself over onto your back. Have your knees bent. Have your feet on the floor. And take a moment, just notice how it feels to be lying on your back now. It's the first time we've been here during the class, so notice that. And then bring your arms out to your sides. Take your feet out about as wide as your mat is, so they're pretty far apart. Take a breath in. Now, as you breathe out, you're going to let your knees fall over to one side, and your head can roll the other way. And take a breath in, and then when you're ready to breathe out, you're going to go the other direction. So your feet stay where they are, and you're rolling through your feet, and take your knees over the other way. So it's kind of like a windshield wiper. And your head's turning the opposite direction of your knees. So go back and forth like this. Breathe out and go the other way. Breathe in and then breathe out. Go the other direction. Knees are going one way, your head's going the other way. And back and forth a couple times. And this one is really just easy. Just kind of letting your body move any way that feels right. And the next time you come into it, then you could stay there. And take a few breaths. And notice how you can feel the earth under you. And maybe if you let yourself go to the earth a little more, your body might just release into this twist a little more. And then as you're ready to breathe out, go the other way. Roll your knees to the other side, turn your head in the opposite direction of your knees. Stay here. Take some deep breaths. And then, whenever you feel ready to, bring yourself back to the center. So roll back onto your back. Bring your arms down by your sides. If you like, you can pick your feet up and hug your knees in and maybe circle around a little bit. And we're going to move into a rest now. So bring one foot down and then the other. And you can really rest in any position you would like to. I'm going to go onto my back with my legs out. But you might like to be on your side. You might like to sit for the rest. Whatever feels right for you is exactly the right place for you to be. So once you have found a place that feels right for you, let's go back to those breaths we took right at the beginning of the class, where you breathe in through your nose, and then exhale out your mouth, and you might like a sound with it, kind of a... And do that a couple more times, and you can choose a sound that feels right for you. Breathe in through your nose. Maybe it's kind of a out your mouth. Once more, breathe in. Maybe it's a as you breathe out. And then when you feel like you've done enough of those, let your breath just do whatever it wants. Your body will take over the breathing. You don't have to direct it or do it, so let that happen. And from wherever you are, feel again, can you sense the earth under you and how it's kind of holding you? So for now, you don't have to hold yourself. You can spread out. You can let yourself be kind of heavier. You can have your eyes open or closed, whatever feels best for you. Now, if it feels okay for you, you could scan through your body. Start with your jaw. Notice how is your jaw feeling right now. And there's no special way it's supposed to be feeling. Just whatever it is, notice. And then maybe you notice the inside of your mouth, your tongue in your mouth, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your forehead. Sense the back of your head. If it's meeting the earth, feel the weight of that. Sense the back of your neck and the front of your throat. Your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your fingers. Sense the back of your torso and the front of your torso. Your hips, your legs, your feet, and your toes. Just noticing how all that feels right now. And then maybe within that, you can sense a quiet place inside. The place inside you that doesn't change, no matter what's going on around you. It's your own inner resource of wisdom and strength and support. So maybe you can sense that. And let's stay here for another minute or so. Continuing to feel that quiet space inside you if that feels accessible to you or comfortable for you. Or maybe you're just coming back to feeling the weight of your body on the ground or whatever you're sitting on. Maybe you feel your breath as it moves in and out of your body. And that you can come out of this at any time. And now, as you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. And you might like to rub your thumbs on your fingertips and wiggle your toes to kind of wake your body up. You can circle your wrists around, your ankles around if that feels nice. And then make your way over onto your side if you're not already there. If you're sitting, you can stay sitting. So from wherever you are, find your way back up to sitting. Find a comfortable way to be sitting just for another moment, just so you can take a moment. How are you feeling now? Do you feel any different from when we started the class together? Maybe you don't. Just notice whatever it is. And is there anything that you might like to take with you? Anything you'd like to take into the rest of your day or your week that might help support you? And as I finish my practice, I like to thank myself for taking the time to practice. So I hope you'll take a moment to thank yourselves. And I thank you for sharing the practice with me. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.